And here's another case study video where I'm going to give you a complete paid ads breakdown of one of our clients, which is Salesforce. And in 6 months, they generated $2 million in ARR with more than 500 users signing up in a single week. Now, the space that they're at is the most competitive out there. It's a cold email platform, and there's no shortage of outreach tools. So this wasn't just running about some ads and hoping for the best. And this was their testimonial, right? Which was this. Working with Manav was the best decision we made for scaling revenue. I would have kept him to myself if I could. There are many testimonials and case studies on my website that you can check, and I've made this confidential because they've asked me to do so, not to reveal their identity. And here's another proof. So what I do is I usually send a weekly update to my clients, and this was one of those. During that week itself, in the first 5 days, I sent this update on Friday, right? So in those 5 days, they generated a reach of 300 accounts and 400K impressions. And they crossed 450 users already. There were 2 days left, and they confidently gained more than 500 users by the end of the week. And in this complete paid ads breakdown, in this case study, I'm going to talk about all the ads that we ran for them, all the stuff that we did for them in a form of a playbook so that you can implement this for yourself, for your own SaaS. Because this is the same process that I would use for any of my B2B SaaS clients, and I want to show you how it actually works in practice. So let's just get into it. So there were multiple formats of ads that we ran for them. There are image ads, there are video ads, and even videos have different formats like a vertical format, a square format. There were landscape videos. We also made a video sales letter for them. I'm going to talk about the use of each one of these after showing you my work. Let me just show one of our ads to you. Let me just play one of those videos.
Tired of low reply rates and no-shows? Let's fix your cold outbound. We scaled to $3 million ARR in just 12 months, powered entirely by this cold email system that consistently delivers qualified sales calls. We're offering plug-and-play, done-for-you cold email system that includes everything you need to start generating revenue. High-quality B2B lead generation, premium email infrastructure setup, custom written email sequences, and one-on-one help from a cold email expert. We'll make sure you are able to send between 15,000 and 45,000 cold emails per month the right way without landing in spam. This isn't a course. We do all the work, launch it for you in 7 to 14 days, and hand it over ready to use. And the best part, it's a one-time setup fee.
Okay, I don't want to bore you guys out, but this is what the ad looks like. Now here's a video sales letter. We built the presentation, we built the script, and the founder just had to read it by himself. And again, this is like a 5 to 7 minute video. I don't want to bore you out. And here are some of the image ads. These are high quality video ads that we made for them.
Hello, John. How are you doing today? We were talking on LinkedIn a few days back about scaling outbound in a way that will help you reach your huge end of year sales quota with very little cost involved. Does that ring a bell?
Oh yeah, I did post
Okay, great.
something.
Well, the reason for the call today, John, is something just came across my desk, John, and it is perhaps.
So you know what this is, right? Wolf of Wall Street, and this is what we did to launch their product, make a launch video, and then we also use this video to run it as an ad. And here's another video which is on the same format, but it didn't really take much effort because we did it all with
One
AI.
of us, Google gobble, one of us. We accept them, one of us. Google gobble, one of us. We accept them, one of us. Google gobble.
Jordan! Your dad's coming. Something about the cold outreach tool bills?
Can you get him out of here? I'm not
Yeah,
kidding.
lick my twat.
No, I'm serious. Get up, guys. Act like a work. You got any freaking sequence? Okay, wait. He's coming. He's coming. Make some shit up.
We should email them 12 times a day.
So we used AI to work on the voices and everything else. And we also have, obviously, we have our own editing team that took care of it. And these type of ads, which was super creative, it helped a ton in building brand engagement and in driving signups and revenue. And another thing to note that this is literally just 10% of the work that we did for them, because it includes 25 times the amount of ads that we ran for them. There were different custom landing pages for each type of ad, each type of offer that we built for them. Then there was a qualification system that was built out to only let qualified buyers in your pipeline. We also implemented a back-end selling system that increased their close rates by 20% and it reduced their sales cycle by 25%. Now that I've showed you some of our work, I can just move on to the entire process and how we ran it. So, the type of engagement that we ran for them before getting started with building out the entire funnel was we would help them book 30 qualified demos per week within 60 days by auditing their current funnel by replacing their sales motion with a high ACV offer supported by concierge onboarding that we would help them build and running a self qualifying, nurturing funnel behind it. So, the goal was to ensure that the sales team only spoke with highly qualified prospects, leading to a higher close rate and shorter sales cycles, like I said before. And if I didn't get them to 30 calls a week in the next 60 days, then we will just work with them for free for the next 60 days. And even after getting another 60 days, we don't help them to get to that target. We will just refund the entire money. That was the entire sprint offer that we had for them. If any of that is of interest to you, then just book a call by clicking the link in my profile or just type it's growable.com online and just book a call to discuss it. Now, let's get into the entire funnel. So, the real reason ads fail for most SaaS founders is because they just run ads straight to a free trial or a demo per call. Now, let's just assume that you have a SaaS product that charges $100 per month on an average, and you're paying $100 for a lead by running paid ads. 33% of them are subscribing to a paid plan, and this is us being generous, by the way. Now, because every one of three people are paying for your product, your CAC is at $300. So it's success, right? You've done a great job. But that's not the case because there are two things that are going to happen. One is that they churned pretty early because they were unqualified, so you lost $200 to $100 per customer, or they stayed with you, but you are now at a 0% profit by the end of 3 months. Because of exactly this, because you're also losing money for some users and you're hitting a $0 profit by the end of 3 months and not instantly, you're hitting a spend wall where you're not able to increase your ad spend every month to bring in even more users, and you're just stuck at the same ad spend and then you're not able to scale up. And now that you don't have a qualification system, your funnel doesn't even bring in upmarket leads or qualified leads in the first place, and it fills it up with three types of prospects. So first is prospects who have no budget to move forward. Then second is they don't have any immediate pain that your product solves. It is bringing those type of prospects. Then there are third types of prospects who just don't have any decision making power. It is bringing in associates or interns, for example. And because you don't have a back end selling system, and because you have a B2B sales cycle, which are notoriously long, you don't even sometimes close people in the third call. You need to keep on building trust and nurture them to stay in your prospect's head even after your calls. And back-end selling system does that for you. And just because of that, the average increase in close rates has been 20 to 30%. Now that you understand why your paid ad systems are failing, let's talk about the entire funnel. Now, here's a TLDR. In short, this is what your funnel does. So, here is a TLDR of the entire process for creating profitable ads for Salesforce. First, we worked on creating a high ticket front end offer through which they were able to charge thousands of dollars in one time setup fees, which made their ads profitable so that they could make up for the customer acquisition cost that they had and use that one time setup fee into running more ad spend for the next month. And second is making great ads, videos, images, carousels, and 72-hour test loops that we run across our entire ad system to find those winners really fast. Third is building a landing page, which is a high converting landing page, speaking directly to your buyer, pretty customized to every ad out there, every offer out there that we make for our clients. And then we have a video sales letter which pre-frames your prospects and it sells your unique offer to them right there. This also qualifies all the prospects out there by telling them who this is for and who this is not for. And after that, we qualify them and nurture them. They are qualified based on the budget, their buying power, and their immediate need. These are the three most important things. And the nurturing system is all about getting rid of the top 10 most common sales objections that occur in your call and just answering those in an FAQ page which has videos instead of just text. Each question has a 1 to 2 minute video as an answer, which they can just look at before the call even happens. This reduces your sales cycle by a lot because they're not just giving a 101 demo explanation and just answering those first layer objections, which makes it easier for your sales team. We do all of that by auditing the gaps. We pull your last 10 lost deals and we check those calls, we check those transcripts, we check communications to figure out exactly where they go quiet and what objections came up, what did your competitors say about those particular objections by doing our research on them. And then we built a conversion engine, which was the back-end selling system I was talking about, where we answer the most common objections, we educate prospects on your software and features, we show how you solve their specific problem, and build trust with testimonials and case studies. Now, I will also talk about the entire content strategy that goes behind it, because there's a different content strategy for prospects who have just booked the call. There's a different content strategy for prospects who have gone through the first call and now they have their second call going on. And another, it's different for the call three. So those are different pieces of content that we create, and each of them deserves its own distribution channel, which happens through SMS, email, and video ads, again, that we use to retarget them back using Meta, Google, and LinkedIn, any platform that they're most active on. So I'm going to talk about this in detail now. Now you need to figure out what you can turn high ticket, right? Because most SaaS founders leave a huge amount of money on the table here. Because you're already doing high value things for your customers, but you're giving it away for free. Like, you could charge a one time fee for a lot of things. White glove onboarding, it could be custom integrations, could be strategy calls, or a priority support Slack channel. You can even bundle all of those into a premium upfront offer and charge like 5K for a one time setup fee. And this is exactly what solves the payback period problem. Instead of waiting 6 to 8 months to make back your ad spend, you are making it instantly and just putting that again in your ad spend so that you can acquire more users. And this creates a self accelerating growth flywheel. The rule of thumb is to price it at 1 to 2 times your expected lifetime value, because once you do that, you're basically running ads for free. With Salesforce, we charge a $1,000 one time setup fee that did just one thing, which was help them with onboarding. So we had an onboarding call where we helped them set up the entire cold email system, which their customers could use from day one with no learning curve to go through. Now, this is how we run ads. Targeting is now super easy, and everyone can be a media buyer because of AI. Targeting, keywords, bidding strategies, like, there's no edge there anymore. The edge is in the contents, your landing pages, your video sales letter, and what you actually put in front of the people. That's the entire game. And this is how we build the creatives for Salesforce. We went through the sales calls, we went through 10 closed won deals, we went through 10 closed lost deals, and we pulled out every pain point, every objection, or every hesitation that they had in the call. If we get any problem, we just lay that out in a sheet, and every problem can get turned into 6 to 8 different creative angles. Then each angle gets its own ad, and we run everything at the same time with test budget so that we let the market decide what works and what does not. And whatever performs well will get more budget, but whatever doesn't, we just cut and move on. Now, once a pain point proves itself, we build it out into a video, image, carousel. We just double down on it and build three different formats, because different people consume ads in their own way. And through our experiments and tests, we have found out that we save 20% of the ad spend by doing this. So with Salesforce, you already saw the ads that we ran. And one of the things that worked really well was the direct response video ads after running the creative video ads. The creative video ads were the Wolf of Wall Street ones. And this happened because now they were warmed up to the brand and to the product after watching those creative videos. It was mainly because they were warmed up to the brand and the product after watching those creative videos. And then we went for direct response video ads, which did really, really well. And there's one simple rule, which is called a 5 second rule. So in 5 seconds, we want any visitor to answer three questions in the moment they land, which is what's the offer, and how it does fix my problem, my specific problem as a prospect, and why should I be trusting you in the first place. And if we can't answer those in one scroll, then they're just gone. Your customer acquisition cost will increase by like 20 to 30% if you don't do that. And this is the format for the entire page, which is it should have a headline that speaks directly to their current pain that they have. We come up with their pains by researching, again, by watching your sales calls or by cold calling your prospects directly and asking questions so that we can figure out their pain. And then there's a sub headline which quietly filters out the people that you don't want on your calendar, which will strictly tell them that, hey, if you're this type of person, then this is just not for you. Then we have a 5 minute VSL, which is a video sales letter, which explains the entire offer and your SaaS for those who are interested. And now the entire 5 minute VSL script gets turned into bullet points below that video so that people who just want to skim through, they can just go through it. We want to cater to different types of people who consume content in their own way. And then we put heavy social proof at the top and in the middle, so that cold traffic who doesn't trust you yet, they need to see proof, and proof does the heavy lifting. And obviously CTAs at every fold, so that you don't make them hunt for the booking call button. At the end, we will have text FAQs that answer every objection that they would have before getting on a call. And next is a video sales letter, which is of 3 to 7 minutes. And here are the 4 stages that we cover in that video sales letter. First is we show a painful reality, and we try to quantify the pain as much as possible. It could be the amount of money that they're losing, it could be the amount of time, or it could be the effort. We just try to quantify it as much as possible. And in the second stage, we try to show them that whatever that they're currently doing is not working, and these are the reasons why. Now, after we have quantified the pain and we have told them that, okay, this is why you're having so much pain in your business right now, we try to introduce ourselves as a mechanism of the solution. So, introducing your product as a fix. So, the goal is not only to show your features, but also the mechanism. And we do that by showing how your software is solving that very specific pain that the customer has in real time. And the last stage is ending this with a call to action, which makes clear who this is for and what they'll get out of the call. With Salesforce, after our research, we found out that the biggest pain that all the agency owners, all the SaaS companies who send cold emails have is sending thousands of cold emails manually by themselves, by manually setting up inboxes, manually buying domains and all that stuff, and all the complexities that come with it, all the delivery issues that come with it. And that is how we introduce Salesforce as a solution that is a one stop solution. It takes care of everything, literally. Now, after those prospects are primed up, after the CTA, they are now looking to book a call, right? That is exactly what we don't do. So, not everyone who wants a call gets one, because we need to qualify them. We hard qualify them with a lot of questions. We set up a type form with conditional logic. They answer qualifying questions before they even see a time slot. And if their answers don't hit the threshold, then they just don't get through. I'm also going to show this to you in action right now. But before I show it to you in action, let me just talk about the entire process, right? So we look at 3 things. We take a look at your discovery calls, we extract your discovery calls, and we see what are those needle moving questions that qualify a given prospect, which shows that this is a real buyer. Then we take a look at your CRM and figure out the profile of the customers who close very easily. What industry are they from? What is the employee count that they have? And at last, we also figure out the profile of customers who have churned within the first 90 days by taking a look at your CS chats. So every question is built around that pattern, and it is multiple choice only because we need to also make it frictionless for them, and it makes this easy for us to score. If someone matches your churn profile, then they don't get a call. And for example, if they match your best ICP, then they're booked immediately. So here's how it works. So here's a quick look at one of the qualification filters. So let's say if I click on the CTA, right? This is what it would show. Here first, it's just taking all the info from me. And after taking all the information, it will ask the qualifying questions. So first is my company website. So here's another qualifying question. And the third question is a very basic one, which is, are you a B2B or a B2C in the first place? So this might sound like a very stupid question to you guys, but for them, this was required because they were getting, because for some reason they were getting a lot of B2C customers, a lot of B2C prospects in their demo calls. For you, these first layer basic questions won't be required, but we just do what works best for our clients. If I click on B2C, I'll just get kicked out. I don't want to do that now just to show you the entire qualification system. So let me just click on B2B. And now this is another question. This is a smart question because it is figuring out if you're going to be the type of customer who is going to churn or not. So through our research, through our customer support chats that we had, that we got from their team, we found out that people, that industries where they had less than 15,000 people in their total addressable market, in like having less than 15,000 decision makers, if they fall into that category, they used to churn in like 2 months. Because this was a cold email software, and you can't really generate good results from cold email if you're just reaching out to less than 15k people. So let's just say if I say that my market is less than 15k people, right? It is also telling me to leave this page, but let's just say that I do it. Then it will tell me that, hey, this is not going to be a fit for you. It is telling me that it doesn't look like the market is big enough to make sense. Would you be open to expanding out to larger markets immediately? So it is saying that, hey, you're not a fit, but if you're willing to expand your TAM, then we will be ready to get you in. Now, let's just say that I'm saying yes, right? That, yeah, I want to expand. Now it's going to qualify me based on the budget that I have. So because their ICP is small B2B businesses and agencies based in the US, this is the monthly revenue numbers that they have. If it would be less than 15K, they would just kick me out. That is why I'm going to pick option C. And now they're going to ask for my budget, like directly, how much do you want to invest in this? If I click on 10K plus, then they'll just get me in, like they would want me to book a call with them. And if I click 2.5K, then they'll just kick me out. And yeah, that's how the entire qualification system works. Now, the next step is that they book the call. Now we have to keep them warm, right? Because most founders go quiet before the call getting booked and the first call that happens. They just send reminder emails and that's it. This also happens from call 1 to call 2 to call 3 if that happens. And that is where most deals die because they're getting influenced all the time. They're talking to your competitors, their internal stakeholders are coming up with stuff which may work against you or which may work for you, but they're getting influenced either way. There are indirect competitors like agencies or consultants. They can come in to turn the tide. And so you need a system to increase your influence over your prospects by staying around more than others do in their head. So, how do you even do it? So, this is how we do it. The moment someone books, you create a custom audience and start serving them a specific bank of content. And each piece runs once and then get replaced by the next one so it never feels repetitive. Now, before the first call, right, the gap is that they don't know what you do. They don't know what you are. They haven't had any conversation with you. So you need to set a frame and you need to purely educate them. So we create 30 to 50 short form video ads that answer every first and second order question a prospect could have. What exactly does your software do? How does it work? How does it beat the alternatives that they have? Beat your competitors? What are objections that you could handle about agencies or consultants, for example, if there are your indirect competitors? We find that out by doing our research, obviously. And then we run a 1 to 2 minute video that covers those objections. And then there's another 2 minute video that tells them exactly what the call covers, who we are, and what they're going to walk away with. This happens just a day before the call. So it does two things. It increases show up rate because now they're invested, and it pre qualifies their mindset so that the call starts further along than it would have otherwise. And this is how we reduce your sales cycle. Now, there's a different content strategy for each call, right? So the call to gap here is now that they know about your software and everything, they have seen the demo, they need to see the ROI behind it. They need to see some proof. They need to trust you before they make their decision of paying you. They're evaluating you, they're comparing you to other options as well, right? So this is the most important retargeting window. And this is why we hit them with ROI content where we show specific numbers in a video ad again. We build a calculator for you. We actually run the ROI numbers and just show them that, okay, if you're using our software, then this is what you're going to see. These are all the benefits. A second piece of content strategy would be an insider walkthrough. We're showing the software in a video, and those videos are telling them that, okay, this is how you can solve this exact problem that you have that you just mentioned on the call. And the next is testimonials and case studies of people who are exactly like them. That's what we ideally want, but if we don't have that, then we can just use your regular case studies that you have. The goal at the end is just to build trust. Again, 1 to 2 minutes per video, and we rotate these across all three platforms so they see it regardless of where they're scrolling. So they could be Meta, it could be LinkedIn, it could be Google. Now, the call gap at the very last call is to build trust until there's no doubt left. Your sales cycle could be even longer, right? You could have like 6 calls, but after call 3, the entire goal is just to keep on building trust, trust, trust. And this is where we flood them with more social proof. Were you featured in a podcast? We will use that. Were you featured in an article? We'll do that as well. Then share more case studies, more testimonials, more evidence that other companies in their situation made this decision and it paid off for them. In this one, the goal is to remove every remaining reason that makes them not to move forward with you. Now, the entire content strategy, right? It was about video ads, but what we do is we take out the script and we build an email and SMS sequence as well using that so that it mirrors everything. And both of them are in separate tracks. And in this way, we use the same message to hit the same person across different surfaces at the same time. And this is not annoying at all because we've done this for multiple clients. This is what people assume most of the time, that we might be annoying them. But when they book a call, they have actively decided to be present in that buying process. So they need as much information as they want to. An email is the surface that lands in the most personal space. So we combine it with retargeting ads on the social feed. Your videos are showing up on your search, and you have a structured sales follow up. Then the prospect has no gap left for your competitors to fill. And this is how your close rate increases by 20 to 30%. Now, what if they ghost you? Because obviously, we are not going to have a 100% close rate, right? What we do is we keep on running this back-end selling system forever. Even if they've went with a competitor, we keep on running this because it costs nothing to keep a retargeting sequence alive. It costs like $100 a month, that's it. But it will cost a lot more if you lose that prospect to a competitor who stayed present when you didn't. But again, there's a different content strategy here because by ghosting you or by telling you that hey, I don't want to move forward, by doing that, they have told you that yes, I'm now out of your buying cycle. I'm not in your frame anymore. So what we need to do is we need to bait them in by giving in value on value. So it doesn't have to be salesy at all. You just provide value so they stay on their screen for as long as they can to build more trust. And we talk about their problem, how our product solves it. We give some industry insights, some industry stuff going on to keep them engaged. The job is to keep your brand tied to their solution, and that's it. Now, after they see like 6 to 7 videos, then we hit them with a direct response ad again so that we bring them to a call again, and now they just get closed on the very first call. That's what usually happens. Now that's the full system. And for Salesforce, this whole system came together and pushed them to $2 million in ARR in 6 months with 500 users, more than 500 users in a single week. And we can help you with the same thing. We help them book 30 qualified calls a week by the end of 60 days. And if we didn't do that for them, then we will work with them for free for the next 60 days. And even if that doesn't happen, then they'll just get their entire money back. That was our offer to them. That is our offer to you. And the goal of this entire system and funnel is to ensure that your sales team only speak with highly qualified prospects, which leads to higher close rates and shorter sales cycles. So you can click on my profile and click the link in bio or just search for itsgrowable.com to book a call, and we'll audit your current funnel. We'll see if it's a fit and we'll take it from there. If you want to see more case study videos, you can just check my YouTube and I'll see you there.